Thank you. As a CEO, I wish I could create more hours in a day. I can't, but what I have done is I created a tailored AI system for me that free up hours in the day and reduce bureaucracy and allow me to lead, to think the big picture, to think about strategy. And I will present to you today a little bit hands-on. I would show a short little demo introduction, how it actually looks. But before that, I would like to talk about the problem that I try to alleviate, and it's lack of time. You might have the same situation that I have, that you have an open calendar and people book meeting after meeting, back to back. And during these meetings, you take tasks and things that you need to do. At the same time, your inbox is increasing with unread email, and your desk is filled with papers and contracts and proposals to look through. To be able to do and handle all this, your work bleeds into the evening and in the weekends, when your family expects you to be there. It's very hard when you have so much work to think on the big picture, to think about strategy, to lead. So what I have done is I have created an AI system to help me alleviate this. And it's not really about competence. It's about attention and capacity and keeping it. And now I will show you the stack. And it's a lot on the picture, but follow through on the layers from top to bottom. On the top one, I have the interaction level. That's different systems I use to communicate to my agents, either by voice or by text, either by car, running, or in front of the keyboard. I speak mainly to one agent, GLaDOS, and she has 3 skills that she knows. She doesn't know how to open emails and calendars, others do that, but she has 3 things: delegation, coordination, and planning. But she has a team of agents that have unique skills and capabilities to help out. And they all are connected in a system called Obsidian, where we have reinforcement learning, so they get better for each success, but also better for each failure. Underneath the system, it shows that I'm running this on a server, a Mac server with a lot of memory that allows me to download LLMs and run them locally. That means that the data that I have, it doesn't go to China or US. But they also have access, if needed, to go to global frontier LLMs and use them. This is not a ChatGPT with a wrapper. This is a complex system that needs a lot of maintenance. But now I would let Gladys take you on a guided tour to show a little bit how the interaction works. Listen to the voice. These are the voices that I speak to. Listen a little bit what they do, how they handle memory, and how important automation tool is.
Tomas asked me to explain the system while it is running. I'm GLaDOS. In the text box, Tomas asked me to explain who reports to me, what their skills are, and which one I like the most. Now, moving over to Tars. In earlier conversations, Tars demonstrated the skills available in OpenClaw and Hermes. Then Tomas asked him to create complete sorbet ice cream recipes and save it as a file to demonstrate Tars's research capabilities. Next, we move over to another agent called Root. She has full root access to the system. Tomas asked her about her core capabilities and who she is. Then we return to me. I have now explained that Marvin, Tars, Root, and the others report to me. I am their manager, and I assign and delegate the tasks I receive from Tomas. After that, we go back to Tars to confirm that the sorbet recipe file has been created and placed on Tomas's desktop. Now Tomas tells Tars to show some examples of these recipes. What happens next is that we move over to the system called Obsidian, which manages the memory of all the agents and all collected knowledge. Here you can see the memory files and how each file is linked. Every file, every memory, and even their dream files are stored here. The dreaming function is a way of reinforcing memory. Here we can see that Calculon is dreaming about me demanding status checks. He had better remember those. Let me now hand over to Tars.
Hi, I am Agent Tars. Here you can see my soul file, which describes who I am, my deep research capabilities, my N8N automations, and aspects of my personality and relationships with the other agents and with Tomas. Now let's look at N8N. This is where I create automation workflows for Tomas. Here you see a workflow called Intelligent Brief. It provides Tomas with a weekly Spotify audio briefing covering NILU-relevant EU policies, NFR calls, and institutes updates, so he can listen to the briefing every Monday while driving to work. This one is a simpler workflow that collects Norwegian Research Council calls, matching the capabilities of the departments at NILU. It helps ensure that we do not miss valuable opportunities. Now, let us return to communication between the agents. Here, Root reports to Tomas, and Tomas asks Root to generate a health report for the OpenClaw system. That is one of the agent systems. Tomas connected OpenClaw and Hermes' agent system to ensure he gets the best from each of them. At the top of Telegram, you can see Root begin typing. Root work away and, shortly afterward, it delivers the completed health report. She do all updates on system and fix problems on the machine without Tomas asking. Now, over to you, Tomas.
So these agents, they learn over time. So they're much more knowledgeable about me and what I want. They learn from their failure. They learn from their success, and they develop over time. Some of the things that they help me with are these. So one important thing is they have a heartbeat. Some of them have a heartbeat, which means that they wake up every half hour during the day. And then they do tasks for me that I have asked, or they look at tasks that I have failed before and see if they can improve these things. Other things that I use this for, where I speak verbally to them, is that I use them as a tutor. So very often I run into problems into area where I don't know so much. So I ask them, give me a one-on-one lesson about this, and it gives it. And I interact and interrupt and say, what about this? Wouldn't this be this? Another thing I do when I'm out running or in the car is I use it as a sparring partner. So I put up different ideas and things that I have, and I have tailored them, not to be nice as ChatGPT, but not to agree with me, but to be the devil's advocate. Try to find errors in my argument, in my logic, in my plan. And that helps me to refine very quickly what I'm thinking. So that means that when I deliver what I think to people, it's better, and I use less time. Some of the things, practical things, two things, one very small thing and one big thing that have helped me here. One small thing is, for example, presenting this speech here. So previously, before this, I was looking at the skeleton structure of the PowerPoint, and I was thinking, oh, okay, and then I start filling, and then I backtrack, removed, and I change. I go like this back and forth. Now I take the skeleton structure, I pitch it for the agent. They help me argue back and forth. Then I filled it with meat, but I don't spend a lot of time polishing it. I ask another agent to say, can you check that all the colors and every font and everything is according to the NILU template, and it's sorted out. When it's finished, I start another agent that listen to me, listen to the pitch, the way I speak, and the amount of time I have, so training me so I can deliver it on time. On a bigger thing, what it does, it's collect information in the evening, so I have the right information at the right time. That means that I don't get surprised anymore. I know when EU changed funding. I know when the Research Council changed as it's happened. It frees up time for me, time to look at the big picture, time to lead. You don't have to do a system like I have done. It's a mesh of different open source systems connected. that demands a lot of maintenance. But what you can do that is easier, use Anthropic or OpenAI and their agents, and try to find one thing a week or one thing a month that you think AI can do for you. Lift it over, and then another one, and then another one. And slowly ask, maybe you come in a position that you ask your IT department to buy a big Mac server with a lot of memory so you can run the LLMs locally, so you don't have to share the data with Chinese or American companies. AI will not replace leadership, but if it's used right, it will create time for the leaders to lead. Thank you.